What is going on, guys? Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, August 23rd. Comic News Weekly, or just Entertainment Weekly. But I think that's name already taken. But we have a great show lined up for you tonight. I'm excited. Both my little shits go back to school tomorrow, so they're tucked in tight. And yeah, summer's over. Or, as I said in Weird Science, party's over. But hey, we are running Skeleton Crew tonight. Ryan's running a little bit late. Andy Tomlin's still wrapping up that Southern Charmed rap party, but he will be back here next week. Of course, he keeps saying that, so who the hell knows anymore? But we do have some good topics to discuss. Andy, of course, Mr. Last of Us. We had a teaser trailer. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But then we also have Hasbro, huge giant. They're talking about selling off some business assets. They're like, we don't know if we want to be in this movie business. And then, of course, GameStop decided they wanted to get into comics, but now they're being sued by Diamond Distribution. All those, and of course, Ryan, when he joins us, is going to have his mystery topic. But before we get into those, let's bring in the crew we do have. Mr. Beyond Wednesdays himself, Mr. Emerald Coast Comic Con, Emerald City. I just messed that all up. Let's just bring you in here, Brian, before I mess more stuff up.
Oh, what's going on, brother?
I was like C2E2 ECC2
ECCCCCCCCCC.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I will say this: Seattle or Washington and Seattle has some beautiful places, but the city smells like urine, and that's a big problem.
Yeah, because that's of all the not beautiful places. They're called bums.
Here's the other thing: it smells like piss over 90% of the city, and then the rest. I must have seen 10 people smoke heroin in front of me, and about 50 other people during the event. It was pretty eye-opening, man. Definitely worse than Phoenix. It was surprising, and man, I'm glad I don't have kids taking them to cons in Seattle.
Yeah. Well, not like Baltimore. It's much different. You got bums, and then you got rats you can ride away on. So you can Uber a rat in Baltimore.
Yeah, definitely much worse than Baltimore. Much worse than Baltimore.
But we also have Mr. Comic Man Andy. Make sure you guys check him out on that Comic Man Andy YouTube channel. El Beardo Jefe.
What's cracking, gentlemen? Happy Tuesday. Feeling a little under the weather still. Fighting a giant head cold, but I'm not missing out on a Tuesday, especially a cover drop Tuesday.
Yes, we do have a special reveal here we're going to get into in just a second. Like I said, Ryan, he's putting those kiddos to bed, getting them ready for school tomorrow. He'll be jumping in here soon. We do want to welcome people coming to the chat. Darth Lopez, Double O, Patrick. I'm not going to butcher that last name. Just say Patrick M. As long as he's been in this chat, you think I have it right now, but I'm horrible with names, and I'm the first to say so. But people rolling into the chat. We do have a great reveal tonight. I'm a huge fan of 80s. Love that 80s horror. I'm sure you guys have watched it too. I remember watching it as a kid. Renting it on beta, actually. But that Greg Romero, Stephen King Creepshow, right? I remember Creepshow 2 more than I remember Creepshow 1. Both movies were great. The biggest one to me was the one that I remember the most was The Raft from Creepshow 2, right? When they're out on the lake. But and since then, that horror streaming service Shudder, they've revitalized Creepshow. I think it's going to its 4th or 5th season, and you have Mr. George Romero's, I forget if he was an assistant or whatever, but huge visual effects guy that you might know from Walking Dead. Greg Nicotero is like one of the big producers for the Creepshow Shudder series. So it's made a comeback. I've watched some of it, still nostalgic to that original movie series, but we have the comeback for that. But not only that, we're all friends of Big Clutch here, who's from Skybound. Skybound Comics makes some great comics, who also makes the Walking Dead comic. So we're going to go full circle there. But they are also getting ready to put out a 5-issue anthology of Creepshow itself, right, Brian?
Amen. I heard about it. I was a little stoked. And then I went, holy cow, the exclusive variants are going to be hopping, right? The amount we don't all love horror art, but a lot of comic fans love horror art. I'll say that.
And not only that, but horror anthology comic book series have been doing great. And people are well aware of Creepshow, but I mean, you got Ice Cream Man, a bunch of, I mean, the names escape me. It's hard to say. There's a bunch of them out
House
there.
on the
Ice
Lake.
Cream Man. But horror anthology is great. But what we want to talk about, as my camera goes out of focus,
Again,
is big clutch friend of the channel from Skybound. We talk about Drew from Wanted Comics, who's also a friend of this channel. He has a kick-ass David Mack exclusive variant for this that goes on sale August 25th. Do you want to see it? You
yes,
guys
we
are like
do.
David Mack. I like David Mack.
This is
Let's
an
show the David
interesting
Mack.
David Mack one. Look,
Yeah.
this is like David Mack, creepy David Mack.
Yes.
Right here.
Yeah, David Mack on steroids.
Yeah.
So we got the Wanted Comics website up behind it. That's Wanted Comics with an X. Goes on sale. 500 print run, $19.99, $20. Pre-sale for this goes up August 25th. This book will actually release, hit store shelves September 21st. But I love this cover. There is going to be a regular cover. There's also a B cover and a 1 in 10 for the regular issues. But
Ooh.
I am definitely going to be ordering this David Mack cover from Drew. And
Wait.
I think on the back it says "Go Giants, fuck the Dodgers." So I'm definitely ordering.
Wait, no. So you're telling me he's going to give you that information, but not even sneak peek the B or the ratio? Like we're going to be stuck here just twiddling our thumbs. Like he's not even going to sneak peek it for us.
I haven't looked at them yet. They're actually on Skybound site, I believe.
Oh, let's take a look at them right now at League of Comic Geeks. They got to be there, right?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'll bring
I
them
will
up.
also put the link in the private chat for the actual announcement.
You guys
from
are just going to
Skybound.
want to go buy Drew's stuff anyway. So, all right, here we go. I got it.
We got what Chris Burnham, and then on the writers on this, you got Paul Dini, who also wrote Batman animated series, and then Stephen Langford, who's one of the writers for the actual show, is also writing on this 5-issue anthology.
That's the A cover.
Ooh.
And there is no variants. They don't even have the variants. There's a Declan Shalvey variant and a Vance Kelly variant is the 1 in 10.
Okay, so Drew is the retailer exclusive variant to this cover A.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
So there you go.
I thought you were implying that-
$19.99 and only 500 print run exists. And the great thing about Drew, when he says there's only 500, there's only 500. It's not like, hey, I'm only telling you there's 500, but there's really 3,500, and it's only going to have the staples that it's meant to have.
Yeah.
Oh God. I thought you meant to say that he did additional covers with somebody.
No, that'd have been cool though. Been cool if he did.
It'd be even cooler if you
Where
did.
we were.
Yeah.
Party
at the Moon Tower.
I want to say this. Shout out to Darth Lopez. Listen, I'm a fan of Barry Sanders, but there was no greater running back than Walter Payton. Period.
Ooh.
Period. Like there's no arguing that. Even Barry Sanders thought so much of Walter Payton that he retired right before he broke his record. So because he didn't want to break Walter Payton's record.
Yeah. And if you would have given Barry Sanders the offensive line that Emmitt Smith had, he would have broke it his rookie year.
That's for sure.
Walter Payton was sweetness, right? But he was also Jim Brown power. He'd throw a uppercut in your face, man. Like Walter Payton he might be like top 3 greatest football players. Anyways, you guys, there was a list of top 10 running backs I saw, and it went Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, Jim Brown, and I'm like, what?
Barry Sanders, man, just natural talent, man. Just like he could escape whatever. He's just an escape artist, man. Watching him was like watching a real live video game, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was good, man.
I loved watching Barry Sanders.
That being said,
he would sell. He was like he was the player that would sell football tickets for sure, because he would go just to see him play like live.
Yeah. So real quick, can we put that up one more time? That David Mack Creepshow.
Wow, dude. It looks good like that. It looks better like that.
I like the trade dress. It actually fits it. The art from, David Mack, especially when it comes to horror. But again, that's at Wanted Comics, August 25th. Look for that. And it's going to be 500 print run for $20. And we will probably talk about that one more thing-ish time.
Well, real quick, I do want to talk about the 500 print run. I think that we're gonna see the separation of the pack, right? The really good retailers out there, the ones that respect what their customers want and what's good for the the gander is good for the goose or whatever. That type of thought mentality is going to bring print runs down. And once we get to the point where we can start putting the numbers on each one of those, like we're half step into the right way. We're starting to bring print numbers down. Retailers are starting to realize we want less print run. We want 500, not 3,000. And it's going to
I
be,
believe 500, I think, is the minimum for Image.
Yeah. So shout out to Drew and Wanted Comics. Make sure you guys put Wanted Comics with an X in your favorites for sure.
After starting to get back into cards and whatnot, the numbered thing wasn't a big deal when I was collecting cards when I was younger. But now they have you have your 1 of 50 and they're all separately numbered. I'm like, man, how come the comic world hasn't jumped on this thing yet where it's printed on the book somewhere? I love that. It's like, wow, okay, now I know. And it makes those cards hold their value because there is a definite print run. They're all sequentially numbered.
Yep. It's been utilized in the past here and there sparsely, but it's catching on more, as McClay had said.
Yep. Also, we'll get on to it, like you said, later. I was going to mention Skybound.
We don't want to contain Alberto's excitement too much. Because as soon as I saw it, I know I put it in our Google chat, and then of course Alberto doesn't like to look at the Google chat very much until it's Tuesday, I think, and then of course he's got his own Instagram reel Last of Us, bitches. Then he's the last one to see our Google chat.
Yeah, speaking of being the last one in the chat, the Last of Us teaser has dropped. HBO has revealed the first teaser for the upcoming TV series adaptation of The Last of Us, and I couldn't be more excited than ever. And it features Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey as Ellie and more. You can check out the first look by skipping about halfway through the teaser here. And I wish we could show it. The last time we tried to show some sort of a teaser on here, it ended up messing with Brian's video, so we're not going to do that. But we can drop this link in the chat. If somebody has the link to this IGN thing, you can scroll right down and watch it on Twitter, or you can follow me on Instagram where I posted it as well. And it's a really solid sneak peek into The Last of Us. We've talked about this not only on this channel, but my own channel and on several other shows going back more than a year and a half ago when Brian and I were talking about the copy or the cover A and about wanting to acquire some for myself. And every time it comes up when people talk about indie books that people should be buying, I always tell people not to leave behind any of the Last of Us copies, whether it's issues 1 through 4, second prints, third prints, or the ratios. No matter what the condition is, don't leave them behind on any dollar bins or diving bins. You find them for decent prices because even though comics are condition sensitive, the print run is astronomically low on this book, and this is going to be a juggernaut of a show coming forward. I know I'm excited. Everybody else knows I'm excited. I want to see where you guys are at now after watching this teaser trailer.
Do we know, is this a limited series, or do we know if it's an
HBO? It's an HBO original. There's a lot of speculation out right now. It's not going to be a limited series as far as we know, because the way they've based the timing for season 1 doesn't have them all the way through the first game. So it sounds like they're probably breaking. We're hoping, as fans of The Last of Us, we're hoping that they break up the first game into 3 seasons and potentially the second game into 3 seasons. If it was an HBO Max series, things would be a little bit different. But they're falling this under the original umbrella, giving them a lot more ability to do more.
I hope they stray a little bit from the storyline and doesn't follow it. Kind of I think that's one thing Walking Dead did great with their storyline, where it kind of stayed true to the overarching, but then it strayed in certain parts just to kind of keep, if you play the game, just like Patrick said, he just replayed the first one and second one, you kind of know what to expect. So there's little surprises or nuances that throw you off a little bit, always are welcoming you to see.
Right. Like anybody that's played game 2 knows what the pinnacle of that season or potentially the area of the show would be. So they do have to stray a little bit. They've got to deliver a little bit different of an experience while staying original to the characters and original to a good portion of the storyline. But what's very interesting is in the video game industry, when it comes to awards, and I forget what the video game awards section is, they've actually added a new area just for content that pays homage to video games like this. This is a whole new area of video game awards. It's going to be just for stuff like this. So think God of War. Think some of the other stuff we talked about video game wise over the years that we were just kind of waiting for that peak. I'm wondering if this is going to be it. Not the peak, but that breakthrough.
Yep. And this comes early 2023, right? Because they pushed it back.
Yep, they're talking early 2023. Filming is already wrapped up. They're complete. I'm wondering if we're going to get it as early as January, February. It's just right around the corner.
And the new PS5 version of the game is coming out, right?
This next month, actually, if I remember correctly.
Like it ground up redo, like same game, but it wasn't just remastered where they like redesigned it from the ground up for PS5.
It's not just patched over, it's a complete redo. So it's the same story, a lot of the same framework, but graphically it's completely redone for the 5.
Yeah. They've already done the patch over, got your money there, so now they're going to get okay. If there's a game worth buying though, it's definitely this one.
So for those of us that don't know what that is, can you explain to? No, I'm not saying I don't know what it is, but maybe I don't know what it is.
I never got into The Last of Us.
What kind of game?
Similar, right? There's the sickness and then
so
post-apocalyptic and then survival type story.
Maybe that's something we should have talked about a long time ago. I should have brought up is it's a very post-apocalyptic look at the human side of things. Like we saw how big The Walking Dead was, right? Like The Walking Dead wasn't necessarily the zombies. The Walking Dead were the humans within that story. The Last of Us plays heavily on the characters left remaining and how they deal with adversity and deal with not just adversity, but life-altering PTSD creating challenges that are extremely relatable when it comes to addiction, when it comes to some other things. This show is very relatable in a post-apocalyptic sense that there's struggles that people deal with, yet the struggles are still the same, just multiplied tenfold because it's the end of the world.
And that's what the game is like?
Oh God, yeah. The game is amazing.
Interesting. I'll be ready for. I'm interested in trying new games. I as a player of the games, I took a long break, between PS2 and 3, and then I got a PS4, and now I have a PS5, whatever. So I miss a lot of those games, and I've always been a sports player, and so those type of games I never delve into. But I'm looking forward to getting into some of these different ones like that.
If there's anyone that's great at making games, it's definitely Naughty Dog, especially those cinematic type, Uncharted and Last of Us.
The only thing that I have played that's outside has been like really the comic games, like the Guardians of the Galaxy game and Avengers and Star Wars and I guess that one Titans Fall. I like that one a lot with the Mech Warriors, but I haven't really found a good game outside of that.
Yeah, seriously, play it. Like 00 says, play it. You won't be sorry. Patrick hits the nail on the head right here. It's much more brutal and heart-wrenching than Walking Dead. And we all love Walking Dead for what it was and what it delivered. And I think Last of Us takes not even a similar scenario, but an end-of-the-world scenario and capitalizes on the human aspect even more. Like Nick Offerman here. I'm really excited for Nick Offerman playing Bill in this series because Bill is a very tormented, very kind of outlandish, crazy out there guy, but I think Nick Offerman is perfect for this role. I don't want to spoil it too much, but everybody's got to, at least if you don't have a PlayStation and are very interested, watch the game on YouTube. You can watch playthrough or you can watch just the cinematic version of the game on YouTube, hour and a half, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is, in high def 4K content. So you can get the gist of the story without having to buy and play the game. But then again, just if you do that, forewarning, you're going to be potentially spoiling a lot of the show for you. But I think HBO Max is working so closely with Naughty Dog that you could play the game up, down, left, right, back, front, A, B, start. I mean, and I don't think it's going to ruin the show for you at all, the way they're going to deliver this.
You've been talking about this for a while, so I'm very stoked. And as soon as it comes out, I will get it and play and give you my feedback on it for sure.
Yeah, and then before we move on, just to loop back to what Andy was talking about is, uh, I forget the print run for this miniseries, but as my camera goes out of focus again, but was it less than 7,000?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was.
It was like 4,000 or something like that,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it was low, and it
Yeah.
was from Dark Horse, and people weren't really paying much attention to Dark Horse books, but the series garnered enough attention that it went to a second print and a third print. So
Well,
each
I won't
issue
say
went.
print run, but Comic-Con sales figure numbers.
Yeah, yeah, they're not very high, and the books got bounced around in bins, so conditions were not great. So I had been snapping up high grade copies as much as I could over the last 2 years ish, and I think 9/8 before the show, even before the show was really getting hardcore, like speculated on that it was going to happen, or it was being shopped around. 9/8 back then were $300-400 a pop, and that's still pricey for a book that doesn't. That just tells you that the core fan base is there. It's a really good story, and there's collectability to a book. And
Yeah,
now
I mean, the reason why I brought up 7,000 versus 4,000 is Walking Dead #1 was print run of what, 7,000? And if
so this has a lower print run.
Takes off like Walking Dead did, who knows?
But it's just the characters are relatable. The level of PTSD and a lot of the level of scenarios that they cope with are very believable and very understanding, and it's very heart-wrenching. And this is one of the few video games that I sat down and played and cried multiple times, the first game and the second game, and it's like a good book that you'd never want to put down. And the games are hard to get back into simply because it's like, oh my god, am I really ready to be hurt again? Like, you got to take a little bit of you got to take a little breather in there and play some Diablo 3 or something.
Is it wife, I'm gonna play Last of Us to get my tissues?
You're darn right.
Where you left them? By your computer with the lotion, Andy.
Oh boy, how'd you know? How did you know? I'm over the moon excited. I know I'm not going to say I was the first person to ever talk about this, but I was one that wanted to talk about it regularly over the last year and a half. And I think now that this teaser trailer is out, more and more people are going to be paying attention and looking for that book in bins. I feel like there are a lot of shop owners, a lot of flea market people, and a lot of people out there that don't pay attention to this book. So I think it's still something you can grab affordably before it gets crazy.
Amen.
Yeah, and even if not, pick up the trade if you just want to read the story, because
even the trades, the first printing of the trades are limited, and those are pricey.
I can't remember if DCBS had like their exclusive trade for it also, but
I do. There's one variant to issue 1, and that variant was released. Actually, there's 2.
There's a video game one.
There's a European video game one that's like a little mini ash can that got shipped in this like fabric kind of CD case, something, and the most of those got damaged. So high grade copies of those are hard to find. But also there's a variant copy in I forget what they call it, like a mass outbreak edition of the video game, like a higher end edition of the video game. And that's even kind of tough to find in high grade. Most of those I'm seeing raw are in like the 8 to 8.5. And that's pretty low print run too. I'm actually very curious again about those Comic-Con numbers. I want to pull those up before we move on really quick.
I'd sold mine off the first time it was optioned, because they got optioned like 5 or 6
never had
years
one.
ago.
Never even seen one.
Yeah.
There it is. The post-pandemic edition was the hard to find variant. It only was released in that pandemic edition video game.
So sweet.
I just bought a one of the controllers that you can use on your computer, right? Just so I could download Star Wars Legos.
Nice. Like the Game Pass stuff.
Yeah.
But while some blockbuster news is going up, Hasbro saying we don't know about this.
Well, listen, I think that we should be used to hearing this in the world we live in. It is a post-pandemic world in the midst of a recession. So I think it's pretty interesting, that a lot of these companies are still around, to be honest. Hasbro considers sale or restructuring of entertainment assets. The world's largest toy company spent $4 billion to move into Hollywood. Now it's having second thought. So basically what happened is Hasbro started buying a bunch of entertainment companies and entertainment properties, thinking that, that's where everything was going. And their competitor Hasbro or Mattel kind of did the same, but it's how they went about doing it. Mattel used a lot of investor money to go in that direction, and Hasbro used a lot of internal money, from what it sounds like, to go in that direction. And Hasbro went just super hog on it, and it did not turn out the way they wanted, and they're losing a lot of money. So,
well, and like their, I won't say leader, but the pioneer that was behind this whole strategy died, right? I believe.
yeah. It basically says here, obviously the inflation thing is the important part. That's the biggest problem. But yeah, Hasbro announced it was paying about $4 billion to acquire Entertainment One, which was a Canadian media company that came up with a TV series that Hasbro thought was going to be big. And then Brian Goldner, who was on a mission to transform the toy company, that makes all the toys we love, G.I. Joe, Transformers, just all the good toys out there. He ended up sorry, I'm getting lost here. He was on a mission to make it, and he had previously held talks to buy DreamWorks Animation and Lionsgate, but had been unable to seal the deal. And so they went for E1, and it doesn't seem like it's working out much for them, which is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they've made plenty of money off PJ Masks though, because
I was going to ask, are those big properties?
yeah, they're good. Like little kid, Peppa Pig's huge and annoying. I heard that they're going to make a Peppa Pig animated movie.
Yes.
Oh, no. God.
PJ
No.
Masks. Think of similar to like Paw Patrol. But
I knew that.
and
yeah,
PJ Masks, I think, was on Disney Junior when my kids were Disney Junior freaks.
It says that E1 owns stakes in Steven Spielberg's Amblin and produces dozens of films and TV shows such as Yellow Jackets. So there you go.
You say PJ Mask?
Yeah, PJ Masks.
Peppa Pig and PJ Masks. They're TV series.
Yeah, I kept watching it going, what the hell are these kids doing up this late on a school night?
PJ Mask like that show Mask that we used to watch back in the day?
PJ Masks, a bunch of kids
no.
that they go out at night with superpowers and they have like animal, like strength of a cat and shit.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
It says Hasbro said, entertainment is a core foundation of Hasbro. As part of our strategic review process, we are always open to new and better ways to tell stories and bring people together through the power of play via our world-class family of brands. So they didn't really say much.
Yeah, and they brought like a guy who came over from Microsoft, right? It was behind some of the Halo, not the show, but the Halo, the game. And it doesn't sound like they're selling off all the assets, but they're talking about selling parts of it. And they want to stay true to making more Transformers and G.I. Joe movies. I thought it was interesting also, like on the Magic the Gathering. So there's a bunch of tie-ins. I don't think Hasbro is hurting by any means, but they're kind of like, hey, let's slim down our portfolio a little bit.
I'd love a new Transformers movie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I love me some tea.
Because they also had what was it? It was like Allspark, right? Was the name of they had like Allspark Productions or whatever. There were new Transformer movies and G.I. Joe movies coming, and because I remember talking about that a few years ago as well, back with when Jack was on the channel. But
well, the pandemic and then everything going on financially is, I mean, we're going to start seeing more and more of this happen.
Well, it's the shit's catching up. The shitstorm's catching up to them, right? From that pandemic, with theaters being shut down, production being shut down, eating up the cost where you can't do anything but wear masks and get vaccines. So yeah, naturally there's going to be a little bit of stall selling. I mean, this doesn't sound anywhere near what Warner and Discovery. I mean, they just went through and just like Thanos snapped their shit. 50% gone.
Yeah.
But
that's the Peppa Pig stuff right there.
Yeah.
I love giving a Marvel reference to a Warner Discovery topic.
Yeah, right.
Well,
but I don't know. I like talking about these topics because it's not just there's stuff that we love in it and we still don't even know who's getting the GI Joe comic license yet, right?
No.
That would expires in like November
Or Transformers.
Yeah. So but it touches on stuff that we also aren't aware of that are big properties like that. Peppa Pig and PJ Masks. And that's just what's referenced in this article. What other stuff is there that? So I like reading these articles because you're like, man, I had no idea they owned that property or some of how these acquisitions work. But
it makes me wonder when they're going to start bridging some of these entities or these titles into comic books, because my son's right at that age where he should be bridging the gap of those little golden books into comic books. And just makes sense for me if there's a PJ Masks comic book to add that to the pull list to give to him every week. He's 5, much like Double O's niece, and PJ Masks is 1. Peppa, there's a lot of Bluey. Why is there not a Bluey comic book in the shop right now? For those of you guys that are parents that have kids between that 2 to 8 year age range, Bluey is one of the biggest watched shows amongst that age group, and it's one of the best like family. You could put that on and not worry about what your kid is watching and enjoy it, and it's got some subtle humor for older people, if you will.
Yeah,
you can always do Blippi.
No, God, no. Go burn in hell, Ryan. Burn in hell.
I agree with Double O. Also, that new Transformers series on Netflix was pretty good.
Was there Keisha or his sidekick over now? Yeah. Oh man, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough thing.
I think a Bluey comic book would actually sell really well.
Yeah, my kids have. I mean, my oldest one, he's been watching Bluey for a while. He used to stop as soon as he heard that little song come on. He'd just stop and turn.
Yeah, all of the games we play at home right now are the games that they play in that Bluey show. The Keepy Uppy and the Robot Dad and all that other stuff. That's exactly what we have to play here. And I'm like, I get it. It's wholesome. We could be doing a lot of worse things. So
for sure. It's nice to have some good things like that.
Yeah, anything's better than that damn Caillou cartoon.
Oh God,
it's better than what?
Caillou. Caillou cartoon's the worst.
I don't know if I know
little
that
bratty little shit kid.
My kids, like, they watch YouTube like crazy. Or Riker does. He likes to watch YouTube, and he's come across there's some weird stuff on YouTube for kids. Like there's this one that gets like Marvel characters, and then somehow they animate them and make them alive. Like it's an Asian produced show or whatever, but there's like Iron Man and Hulk and stuff like that there, and they're fighting each other and they're liking a girl, and it's just weird. Like,
yeah,
you gotta be really careful with the YouTube content, because we started discovering as we thought YouTube was going to be a good option for children's content because of Blippi and some of that other stuff. Problem is what they'll do is the first 5 to 7 minutes of a recorded show will look like this or look like that, and then when you're not paying attention, you go back, it'll be something really weird and sketchy, like Adult Swim level. You're like what is my kid watching?
Characters, Hulk peeing on Mickey Mouse or something like that, because it's made by AI, bro.
Yeah.
It gets weird.
That was something like I said. Like, it was weird. It was like Hulk, and they had Transformers, and it was all mixed together in one show. And they were doing something. And I was like, oh, it's like, whatever. And I walked off. I come back, and they're like fighting each other over a girl, and the girl was like acting all kind of weird. And I was like, what is going on with this show? Yeah, we gotta watch.
We're in the Matrix, bro, and a perfect example of that is what's going on with GameStop and Diamond, man. Like, that shit is, what is GameStop doing suing Diamond? You know what I mean? Like, Diamond. Anytime Diamond is in the news, I'm interested, because I feel like everybody in the comic industry loves like the Jeppies and stuff, but knows that Diamond is just screwed and they're in major trouble. And now GameStop is like, we want some money from you. Good luck.
Well, actually, it's Diamond suing GameStop, right?
I know. Oh, it's Diamond suing GameStop?
Yeah, but it's because exactly what you're saying, where, GameStop, they try to diversify, and it was great news for everyone. It's like, oh, they're selling comics. Remember at one point they had those cool exclusives where you can use your power-up rewards, like the Spider-Man and some of those that sold for great money. But then they said that they were going to get a Diamond account, and then evidently they canceled a bunch of the orders, and Diamond said you can't do that, and then they tried to cancel more orders. So it looks like Diamond's suing them.
Ooh, it's because they need money.
Yeah, because they accepted purchase orders and then canceled them, and like total contract of price of what, $950,000.
Oh man!
And then they tried to cancel another 105 additional outstanding orders in June. So in between the first cancellations and further ones in June, Diamond came to the figure of $2.8 million that they're suing him for.
Wow. I mean, you got to figure a lot of this stuff is in the clause, in the fine print, that you can't just outright cancel when you're ordering this kind of level of product. So it's like, what is GameStop expecting to happen?
I wish GameStop could find a way to diamond, because there's smaller retailers with Diamond orders. Diamond screws the shit out of them all the time. They're just like, yep, sorry about that, you're screwed, or we can't get you reprints, or we can't do this for you. I mean, I've known retailers that have gotten screwed over by Diamond time and time again. So I have no empathy for Diamond being diamonded.
I don't either, and I get it, but like, if I'm gonna go order $1 million worth of product, I'd expect that if I tried to cancel it, there'd be some sort of stipulation or an issue.
I mean, the law is the law. If they owe the money, they owe the money. But at the same time, personal feelings is I don't empathize with Diamond on this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm with you.
It's not like I'm a huge GameStop fan either, because they got plenty of your money trading in all your games as a youngin, saying, "Hey, I got 32 PlayStation games," and they're like, "We'll give you $8 for this."
Yeah,
but it's crazy. I mean, and do you think the comics didn't sell as well as GameStop had hoped they would, and that's why they're like, "Hey, let's back out of some of this"?
This is kind of like, I mean, in a way, they're suing GameStop for whatever, but it's like suing Amber Heard. They don't have the money to pay anyway. Like GameStop's about to go out of business themselves.
Well, I don't know. Their stock might go up just from a Reddit.
no point.
Yeah, but that whole thing false inflated, so that if you look at it now, it's back to where it was.
Yeah. I mean, I always wondered, because I wondered what GameStop was going to do as you get more and more video games digital. I was the one at the time like, hell no, man. I want to be able to have my physical game. I want to be able to trade it in towards another game. But then as I started getting kids and stuff and just got lazy, my PS5 is the digital edition. So that way the kids can't scratch the disc, lose the disc. I can just sit there and say, my fat ass ain't getting off the couch tonight, and just switch to whatever game I want to play.
I'm so tired of swapping discs right now at this point. Like every night when I want to play some Diablo or some Last of Us, I got to swap discs right now. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. So
I like my discs.
So I know that they've, and it's not new, but they started carrying more Funko, NECA, a bunch of other stuff outside of video games, and try to make it almost like a video game hot topic or box lunch type thing. But yeah, they said it right there. A lot of times their comics that they do have, they are beat to hell. It's like the true newsstand.
Oh boy.
It's got a barcode on it.
But I liked it better when they had the exclusives, the Power Up Awards points, but I don't know. Yeah, you want four? It reminds me of Pawn Stars, man. Let me. Hold on. Let me got a guy. I got a guy to bring him in here to look this. Yeah, best we can give you is $4 for this.
Hold on. Let me call my Qbert expert.
Yeah. So this would piss me off. And I remember when HD DVD, right? And Blu-ray and Xbox 360 had the HD DVD. So I had like the HD DVD player and a crap load of HD DVD, because they had Movie Stop also, which was like GameStop, and I bought a bunch. And as soon as I heard Blu-rays winning, I tried to take that shit up to GameStop, and they're like, yeah, we're not accepting that. And I was like, damn it. So I got stuck with it. But
me too.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then of course, Rich Johnson over at Bleeding Cool was one of the first ones to break this story, but I'd be anxious to see what happens. And over under GameStop is still open in 5 years.
Ooh, yes, it'll still be open.
It's out. I think it'll be closed.
I don't know, man. There's a good chance because most games are going to where there's no physical copies.
Yeah.
I think GameStop has an opportunity to reinvent itself a little bit. I know where I live in Michigan, there's only a couple of buy, sell, and trade retro video game places, and they're kind of capitalizing in the market where there's a couple of GameStops that would be way closer, way more convenient. And every time I go in there, they never have anything but the new current games. So they might be able to expand and kind of retrofit themselves into a retro gaming kind of entity and then get into some more. They've always been into collectibles, pops, and other stuff in there too. So why not dedicate some of that dwindling shelf space to PS4 and PS5 games, to Nintendo and everything else that's everybody's been clamoring for and asking for? You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of the things I would have done if I was going to partner with Diamond is I would have had GameStop exclusive, like we talked about Injustice. We talked about Last of Us, how they have those collector's editions with the comic. I would have marketed something more towards that route where I have some GameStop exclusive version of the game, even if it could be the deluxe version download code, but you come in here and you get this specific exclusive comic for it. I would maybe done something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that way you're selling games and you're selling comics, but everything's hurting right now because we saw that economy take a dip, and people are like, yeah, comics aren't as important as gas and bacon.
Nope.
I say bacon.
Just wait till the beef starts taking a hit.
Yeah.
Like actual like beef.
Actual beef.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Can you believe the price of bacon right now? And go off on a
Yeah.
tangent about that. Good grief.
Yeah. Vegans are
The
loving
candy of meats.
Yeah, vegans are loving it.
Although I heard like I think Burger King, a lot of those places are doing away with their like Impossible burgers.
I think the cost.
Now we're definitely going on tangents.
Yeah.
But anyways,
You'd say
Ryan,
you'd about that.
what do you got for us tonight?
Well, I was seeing, did y'all Hulk out or what?
You mean?
I haven't even
checked it out
Genesis.
yet, dude. Yeah.
I haven't watched any. I haven't
What are
watched
you
Hulk yet. And I
doing?
haven't watched the Game of Thrones yet.
What are you doing?
I've been watching Below Deck, man.
Why?
It's my.
What's on there?
I work till like 8:30, and then I just put an episode of Below Deck on and just go. And
I do have a quick question. Are we not in the cool zone here? Because I see this little book that y'all have both on the back thing. Like, is that what something like that makes y'all are both kind of cool?
Bro,
I'm sure they're gonna talk about those soon.
we will be talking about these later on.
Yeah.
One more thing.
Well, anyways, I was saying if y'all saw the Hulk thing or not. I did watch the first episode of it, and I was asking that if anyone's watched She-Hulk that came out last week, and what you thought of it. I think Eugene might possibly have what he thinks about it. I don't know if that's what that's there for.
I'll be honest, and I know that they advertised this, and we knew what we were getting. I'm tired of the funny stuff. Like it's not. Yeah, it's just.
I didn't like She-Hulk as a comic, so the show the whole time never like
Well,
the needle for me.
Well, so again, my buddy Zach, we have a discussion almost every morning, a little at the barista that I talked to, where he was talking about that, and he collects some of the She-Hulk stuff, and was like, man, he was actually pretty excited about it. So he gets to his shop at like 5 a.m. or something like that. So he would get there a little bit early whenever the stuff would release, especially Star Wars stuff, to start watching it. Basically, he turned it on for like 5 minutes and had to turn it off, and he was just like, he just said it shook his head, and I was like, really? And I was like, it can't be that bad. So I checked it out, and do y'all know how She-Hulk came about? Like how any of her backstory?
Nope.
So
yeah, she was his cousin that needed a blood transfusion, right?
Well, it was a friend, I believe, that needed a blood transfusion, or maybe it was his cousin. I can't remember which one it was, but they needed a blood transfusion, and because she was about to die. And so in this one, how she gets it, they're in sometimes a car accident, and some of his blood dripped into her cut, and that's how she becomes She-Hulk.
So,
And so, I mean, not to completely spoil it or whatever, but it's at the beginning of the show. Yeah, so that's just a little part. It's just very. It's like. Sorry if y'all haven't seen it, but it's been out a week and it's a new one coming out. So, it is what it is. But I mean, that's just the very beginning of the show, and it's like, just the whole thing is like, it just, man. I hope that it's not going, because it could turn out to be one of the worst shows that they put out thus far. It's if it goes down the same road that they're going, I think. The humor thing is old. It is definitely old, and I think that if they haven't heard the outcries of this, and then now I'm thinking that they're going to hear this, that people are saying that the comedy thing that people are kind of over the comedy stuff, and they're going to go some other direction and then go completely suck out all the comedy out of it completely and go the other direction that they end up going in or whatever. But it's like they can't find a good balance. I don't know what the deal is. Like they had a good formula, but the formula seems like they've just trying to create a new formula that ain't working.
Well, I'm with Cantankerous.
You can only carry that torch for so long. I mean, it's just the natural repetitiveness of constantly putting out shows and content. It's like, careful what you wish for. We got what we wished for, but it's like getting burned out or like
homage. It's like homage comics right now, right?
Well, so Peter Parker's Pants the show was fine lined up, and it wasn't that it was a terrible thing, but it's just like when you change the storyline that they have a new series out, and like my buddy was telling me, he likes the new series. I think better than just the ones the show's already started at. And Smash and Hero, I liked it better than the other episodes of other shows, but I'm a huge Hulk fan. So that's again, from Hulk, people who like Hulk and who like that storyline, I really do wonder what their thoughts were on it. If it's something that they're like, oh, they're cool because the guy who I know who read it, he was shaking his head. He's like, just really not interested in watching any other ones now. And he reads the series.
I mean, I'll be interested in getting into it, but like one of the big things that I saw on social media within the community is what's the larger percentage of people watching it? They're watching it to see Daredevil show up, I think is what I heard.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at too, is I'd watch it for that. Sure, I might enjoy it, but I have no connection to She-Hulk. And I'm with Cantankerous. I'm getting pretty marveled out, which is why I think like the new Game of Thrones show that's out and The Last of Us coming out soon, and some of these other shows are going to deliver quite the little bit of a break from Marvel and Disney, and I think they're going to do pretty well. And then Disney will come back around with some Star Wars stuff next year. Or this.
Well, the boys stuff was in my break, and I enjoyed that. And I am trying to, I don't have that many shows that I watch, so I do, when I have these shows like this, I will watch them. I did enjoy the Moon Knight thing, but Andy, seeing what they're doing with these shows and knowing that Punisher's right around the corner, does it make you wonder oh man, what are they going to do to the show?
No, because I think we're going to see a turning point with Daredevil. Like already, we've seen a turning point with Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, and we're not being delivered "quote unquote" bad shows. We're being delivered shows that are using carrying the same torch as Brian said, but delivering a show towards 10, 15, 20% of the audience. How many people in the community are diehard She-Hulk fans? You know what I mean? How many of them are Hulk fans? We're seeing shows that are catered to a much smaller portion of the population that enjoys Marvel content. And I think when we can get back around and break out of that mold, my hope is that they're going to do that with Daredevil and leading into Punisher and start getting down into some street level hero stuff and start getting into the nitty gritty. Whereas that'll be a bit more of a departure from the standard mold that we've seen. And no, I'm with Noah. Sandman was amazing.
Yeah. So McClay, you're kind of burned out on the Marvel thing. What would you want to see that might make you excited again?
Oh, that'd be easy. That'd be very easy. Silver Surfer. You show me any glimpse of Silver Surfer and I am geeked for days, man.
But even if the content that the dialogue and stuff like that's coming out, it makes you scratch your head because of some of the actual yes, the character itself is amazing, but would you worry that they would mess it up as far as the show wise? Like,
I don't think you can mess up Silver Surfer, bro. Silver Surfer, they would have to go so far off the edge, like totally changing everything, because Silver Surfer's so easy. He's a ward of Galactus. He's he's a good person from this original planet, and he wanted to save his own planet and this and that, and the whole Norrin Rad story. All you have to do is have it be similar to what it is. Make Galactus an actual being. Don't make it be some stupid cosmic storm. Silver Surfer is. I don't think you can mess that up. I don't even think Sony could mess that up, man.
Oh, I hold my beer.
Well,
yeah, Silver Surfer was great. Silver Surfer was good in Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four #2 was one of my guilty pleasures because of how good Silver Surfer was in there. It was dude, when he would move back and forth underneath his board, oh my god, dude. Yeah.
I'm a big Silver Surfer fan. That's probably one of my second or third favorite characters behind Venom, because I as a kid I was a surfer, and so I was just like, that was like my Marvel character. It was a Silver Surfer. I was like, it's so awesome, and he rode a board around. I thought that was the sickest thing. I always
Joe Satriani and shit as a kid, man.
I always wanted it to be like a short board, but it was cool that it was like longboard shape. But I'm really glad to see that the chat and kind of light up and having different different opinions on this. That some people said they really liked She-Hulk, and that they really liked the first episode. Looking forward to stuff, because I was wondering what people that are watching it were saying. Silver Surfer again. That backstory is awesome. Silver Surfer.
It's amazing, dude.
They could. That Kate's ever did was Silver Surfer Black. I love that story.
I think I think that here's where we're gonna have a change, right? If Black Panther 2 comes out and it's good, everything's gonna be back to normal. People are gonna be ecstatic. They're gonna be happy. They're gonna be looking forward to more. But if they mess that up, man, right? You got Namor, Doom, Riri, Shuri as Black Panther. That's 4 characters that we all want. 4 characters that everybody wants to see. And the look of Namor is great to me. I am so surprised when I hear people that don't like the whole Namor, how they're going with Namor and him being a Mayan, being the Mayan aspect, and like that to me, and the way he looks and the actor they have playing him is out of this park so far, that they're gonna really have to mess up the story. You know what I mean? It just looks so good. And then you throw in Doom, the rumors about Doom, and then the Riri stuff that recently came out. I don't know if I like her suit so much, or her final suit, but I'm looking forward to Riri.
That's awesome. I think you're right on point. Patrick's right. I haven't even seen the post-credit scene yet. I didn't even watch the post-credit scene, but there was a post-credit scene. So any of y'all that didn't know there was one. There's one there, and I haven't actually seen it yet. So yeah, that's just want to kind of see what everyone was thinking about that. I love seeing the chat's input on that. That was amazing. Everyone got some good input on there.
Speaking of credits, what's tomorrow?
I don't know what we're segueing into there.
Segway City. As he goes into fuzz mode over here.
Yeah, I know, right?
New comic book day, man.
Yeah, what are you guys getting for new comic book day tomorrow?
Tomorrow. New comic book day tomorrow. I've got a lot over there. I've got a lot of goodies going on tomorrow, man. A lot of goodies.
You're gonna have to make McClay go last thing because he's gonna take everyone's goodies. No, I was joking.
Well, the Art Germ. I'm not picking this, but I know a lot of people will like this. The Art Germ Super Action Comics 1046 cover. Back to the Art Germ style that everybody loves.
That is it for that dude in the back.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm definitely buying this to read. Looking forward to this.
Ooh.
Detective Comics. Yeah, Detective Comics 1063 starts the Ram V Raphael Albuquerque run. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then I love this Ivan Tao Miles Morales Spider-Man 41. This is just a pure cover buy. I don't know if it's an exclusive or what, but it is.
So Did everybody in the community was sharing this around? There's a free version of this that went out that was an exclusive. I think Eastside Comics or somebody else. After this whole situation at C2E2, they released a free version of this out to everybody. I don't know if it's a virgin variant or what. You could get one for free, and then you can get like an additional copy for like $12 or $20 or something like that.
Very cool. Love it. Love this. And then I'm a big fan of Janice Vell, Captain Marvel. I love the way his suit is like a galaxy like that. But this Phil Noto cover this is the Phil Noto variant for Janice Vell #2. That's gorgeous. And then of course the Dark Horse Star Wars Hyperspace Stories is coming out. So
yeah, and we got Dark Horse, not IDW.
Exactly. So I'm really looking forward to that. Oh yeah, the Ram V started last issue. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I remember reading it. Now that you say that, so this is
I believe
the
you
second
talked
one.
about it on here.
Yeah, we did. So yeah, those are all the ones that I'm picking up.
You're a Ram V fan?
I am. I like Ram V. I like how he did Swamp Thing. Thought it was excellent.
Love Swamp Thing.
And Layla Starr.
Yeah, Layla Starr was good too.
What are you getting now, Beardio?
I'm focusing heavily on Darth Vader right now. Darth Vader 26 is out tomorrow with some pretty epic covers from there. And I will be honest, I'm continuing to trim back on my new comic book day pickups. In fact, I think I might still take tomorrow off from doing a show, as much as I kind of miss doing that. It's kind of hard to do a show and only talk about one or two comic books, but in the same fashion, we got to cut back because we're going to make a move hopefully by the end of this year for a large Grail book that is not going to be cheap. So I'm hoping to keep scrimping and saving away a little bit here. So every $50 I save every week from new comic book day that doesn't go there just gets stacked into that pile. And it might not happen the end of this year, maybe the beginning of next year, but definitely need to make a move on a book that we want before things happen in 2023. So without spoiling it, yeah, Darth Vader 26 is the first book I'm going to read. I know there's Dr. Aphra is out tomorrow as well, but anything I'm picking up, I'm focusing heavily on just reading, and I'm cutting back from the ratio variants. Wind, I'm surprised that the Wind book isn't being talked about right now. Maybe one of you guys will in a little bit.
No, not me.
Tinian, man.
I know, but I'm winded out. I enjoyed the first foray into Wind, and I'm still like James Tynan, but I just, like you, I've cut down a lot of the books that I pick up just because I don't have time to read them all.
Yeah.
What are you getting, Rhino?
You know, there's not a whole lot. I was just kind of looking there. I don't do Carnage, but there is a cool Carnage cover that has Carnage and Wolf or something like that. Look down. It's not that one.
This is the Maria Wolf variant. Maria Wolf is amazing. She was actually at ECCC, just talking up a storm to anybody that was coming up. And she was really nice.
Looks a little like Kyle Hotz almost.
Dude, she is awesome. She is really, really good.
I think it makes Carnage look really goofy, and I like when Carnage looks goofy. So
she's just got this really like in-depth style about her, where every little piece of the the art has something in it. You just
doing something.
Yep. It's very fluid.
I don't know anything about this. I hate this place.
Yeah, I read the first two issues. What, issue 4? Is it issue 4 coming out?
Issue 4, yeah. What is that about?
It's like a supernatural house, right?
Apparently, it's a place that they hate.
Yeah. It's not that's not their favorite place. They hate it. But I just saw it. I was like, I wonder what that's about. I was interested in.
I really liked the first issue. The second issue, I kind of fell off it a little bit, but yeah.
Is it F this place?
Yeah.
That's funny. It's supernatural, you said. So it's got like, is that like demons or whatever, or is it like?
Yeah. I can't even think about what went on in first and second issue at the moment.
Sounds great. I'll have to check it out.
But I remember it. If I'm trying to remember correctly, it's like one of the almost like holy cow, Texas Chainsaw, they
Paranormal.
stand
type
it on the
stuff.
road, come into a house, and then the house is just kind of fucked up and haunted and supernatural.
Clay, do the one on the dock.
Okay, cool.
This one right here. Where?
On the dock right there. Kind of Tomb Raider-esque.
Yeah.
Cool.
So are people
That's
like
it.
actually liking the book or just the covers?
I don't think anybody's opened it yet. I don't know.
Can't get past the cover. I'm done.
I mean, there's been a lot of great covers for Gun Honey, but I haven't heard much about the story itself.
might
Who
be
is it? Titan? Action Lab?
I mean, they got 1,000 covers.
Yeah, Titan.
Yeah, very interesting. Hive has a really good Gun Honey cover.
Oh, yes, they do. Very, very Bond-esque.
Yeah.
I got my read pick tomorrow is Grimm #4 from Boom. Still enjoying Grimm. Still picking that up.
Like Peter Parker right there.
Is
Grim.
anyone reading that Department of Truth?
I'll get caught up on that at some point.
That's a cool
Ooh.
cover.
Oh, that's cool.
And my art pick, just because friend of the channel, great guy. From
Vampirella.
Merc Comics, there's Death Rage #2. There's a Hal Laren cover for that. Hal Laren, awesome guy from across the pond.
Where is it? What is it? Death
Right
Rage
there.
#2. There
Yep.
it is. Ooh, wow. Ooh.
You damn say.
Dude, that's a great, just regular cover right there.
Yeah. So that's the Hal Laren cover. And then they do have like an incentive for him also. So always happy to support good people.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, he did a couple of the Simple Man's 616 variants for us too as well.
Yep.
Wow. It's nice.
And then if you like facsimiles, Detective Comics 27 has a facsimile edition tomorrow.
That I could care less
Ooh.
about because, yeah.
It won't show up unless you have the reprint selected.
Yeah.
Kinda
Yeah, I could care less about it.
Not a ton of comics this week.
We Live Age of Palladians is another one that I want to get caught up on reading, but I'll probably end up reading in trade just because I'm finding it very nice and comfortable having $35 new comic book day tabs instead of $200 or $300.
Ooh, that's a
Ooh.
cool cover.
Yeah.
Did you see Ryan, you were asking about Department of Truth? Did you see Patrick's comment in the chat?
Yeah.
It's Tom Hanks.
Ooh, spicy.
Spoiled it.
I remember that lady in red.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
So
Awesome.
yeah, that's new comic book day tomorrow.
Ooh wee.
That's gonna leave us with one more thing. Yo, you two want to tag team this shit, or you guys got separate one more things?
Well, yeah. So starting, well, actually, for me, starting tomorrow night, I have a comic book sale. That not tomorrow night, tomorrow during the afternoon. I think I think I'm at like 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be given one of these awesome, Battle Beast Skybound X 25 variants away. Shout out to Skybound Entertainment and Big Clutch, who sent us some of these great books. And we're going to be taking part in a big sale this weekend, Big Clutch and Friends. And we will each have some of these from Big Clutch available for sale. Like I said, tomorrow during my sale, I'll have one of these for giveaway. Thursday, both me and Andy will have shows that day that will have these available for sale. Plus other books will be available. But yeah, that's part of Big Clutch and Friends weekend on Whatnot. So you'll see, I think me, Andy, Clutch, Sean, Big Leg, Wanted Comics, JJ's Comics. Who else? Hive Comics.
It's drunk.
Mel will have some. So yeah, it's going to be the Big Clutch and Friends weekend. Shout out Skybound Entertainment. And this book right here is important. You know, it's a great variant. Don't get me wrong. I know the Invincible Bloody variants are a big thing, but this is a big deal book-wise because it's the first time Otley and Kirkman have written anything Invincible since the end of the series.
Yep.
So it's the first new Invincible story in this. Plus, there's 3 other stories. It's a really cool anthology. The other stories in it are The Dark Side, which is Josh Williamson and Andre Bresson, the team behind Birthright. And then also it has a first appearance of Chroma. So that is another story that's going to be in here. And then there's the Invincible story, which is all about Battle Beast, which of course is a much beloved character from the Invincible series. And then there's also a post-apocalyptic story called Scurry by Mack Smith. So 4 stories in here, anthology series, really, really nice square-bound book. They're all in just immaculate condition. So whoever decides to pick some of these up, you're not only going to get a great condition book, but a great storyline in here, especially the Otley the Kirkman Otley Invincible storyline. So very good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And to
Alberto,
piggyback off,
you got anything to add?
yeah, to piggyback off of that, I'm incredibly honored. Thank you, Big Clutch and Skybound, for the opportunity to be a part of this Skybound indie event. I've done indie events in the past with people, but this is like the first one that I've been invited to by someone of that stature of Skybound. Like Brian said, there's going to be giveaways. There's some. I've got the Virgin variant sitting in front of me here. But like tomorrow afternoon, Brian's got his thing going on where he's doing that giveaway. But Thursday is when we really kick it off with JJ's Comics at 9 p.m. 10 p.m. is where I go on. Please bookmark that ahead of time so you guys don't miss out on any of the giveaways. We're going to be doing 4 or 5 giveaways during that hour-long show. And some buy it nows and some great indie auctions. And as a little incentive or a little big thank you is the Whatnot Publishing Kickstradamus book, limited to only 23 copies from C2E2. That is going to be given away on that stream. So limited to 23 copies. We're doing that as a giveaway as well. And like I said, I'm just really honored to be a part of that and really excited to hang out and have fun, because like that Battle Damage book is epic, and Brian made some really good points about that. So I know there's a lot of people out in the community going to be excited to get their hands on that book, especially if we're doing some giveaways too.
What about you, Ryan?
I was noticing, man, that light looks crazy back there, doesn't it? I'm excited for football. That's my one more thing. I'm excited to see preseason's almost over, getting into the regular season. I start my fantasy football drafts this week, and I picked up Madden 23, and I'm looking for some people to kick some butt at, to play and kick their butt at it. Probably get my butt kicked, really. But if you picked up Madden 23, hit me up. And Great White Fire is my name. Great White Fire. And we will have some Madden tournaments.
I'm not getting Madden 23, but I'm getting FIFA 23.
Why are you getting Madden?
I haven't bought Madden in years.
Whack.
But, yeah, I also just want to take the time to, again, talk about Wanted Comics and August 25th. That Creepshow variant. David Mack, 500 print run, $20. Again, that's at Wanted Comics. Make sure you guys check out that website for other great books as well, and some great store exclusives. Wanted Comics, and of course, channel sponsor John at the 616 Comics as well. But that's a huge, huge kick-ass David Mack cover. 500 print run, $20. August 25th. And Drew Lejuan. Although he's a Dodgers fan, he's a great guy and always great to support him. Always one of the few retailers that we vouch for here. That's for sure.
Amen. Amen on that.
With that being said, again, thanks for everyone in the chat tonight. Great topics, great discussion, ongoing in the chat all the time. And I will tell you again, if you guys are in the chat and you ever want to come on and shoot the shit with us here live on the show, just let us know. We'll bring you right in here. And with that being said, guys, we will see you next week.
Look, they talking like they don't know a king when they see one. See him in person, he take it back like a refund. Ballin' with my brothers, all my playing D1. Daily checking chicken, he gon' spin it watching reruns.